With that, I don't see much in the area of public input at this point, so why don't we go ahead in our agenda and move forward, and if we somehow get a influx of community members, we can certainly reconsider our public input at that time, if that's okay. If it's, what? Okay. All right, with that, we'll just move directly into our discussion segment, budget and financial updates.
Before I start talking about numbers, I just want to make sure you are all aware that we have actually and finally hired our new facilities director. This is his, I don't know, 7th day, I guess. So he's been meeting all the people in our districts and going around and understanding what life in our world is, especially under COVID-19 circumstances. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. The auditors were just here last week. They left Monday, and they've done their preliminary field work. We're a little bit behind the gun because of the virus, so our audit work may take a little bit longer than normal, but they have definitely done a big chunk of the work. So as far as where we stand right now, and I want to just say that this is pre-audit numbers. It could change. They may find things that we've miscoded and put in the wrong place. So at this point, we are able to give the taxpayers back about $200,000 to offset taxes for next year. Now, that is if you guys want to approve the 2.5% retained fund balance that you are able to approve, and that would allow you to have $284,000 set aside for whatever may happen in FY21 related to COVID-19. And the way that works is we would have to go to the budget committee and to you guys to get approval on anything that we spend under the heading of the retained fund balance. And we also have the contingency of the $95,000 that we normally have that you have access to as well. So if you choose to vote for that, and I believe you have a motion in your packet to vote on the retained fund balance, it's $284,000. So if we do that, like I said, the taxpayers will see around $200,000, and again, that is pre-audit numbers, could change, and I won't swear to it.
When do we normally see a finalization of the audit numbers? Is that closer to October?
Right. I usually come in to, give you your October board meeting. We usually report on what the auditors have given us, all of their journal entries and made adjustments, and those numbers are then pretty secure numbers as far as end of the year. Okay. Yeah, I will warn you, it could be November this year based on how things are going. And I will say that we had savings in FY20, just a couple examples of what those savings were transportation costs. As you know, we had an agreement with the bus company to pay less. We had savings in our substitutes for a quarter of the year because we weren't needing them. Professional development, most of our teachers were not engaged in professional development during the pandemic remote learning time. So a couple of examples of where we save money. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
If we vote to retain the $284,000 2.5% cap, and we don't expend it during the FY21 school year, can that still go back to the taxpayer?
It will.
Or whatever?
In FY21, it would go back to the taxpayers. Any other questions?
That would be barring any other board decision. Or must it go back if it's not used?
It does, because every year you guys have to vote on it.
We have to refund it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, every year you have to vote on it, so if we don't use it, we don't use it.
Okay. And it goes back to the general fund
Yep.
and to the taxpayer.
and
Okay.
becomes, yeah, right?
Any other questions? No?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. All right, let's move on to registration data update.
Okay, I think that's me. So we are in really good shape in the Hollis School District. We have about 97% of all of our students have completed registration. So we're at 3% who have not. That gives us a couple of class sizes that are a little bit up in the air, but we're pretty, excuse me, pretty confident that we can fluctuate based on wherever they land. We are looking at, for the most part, one remote section per grade level. In 6th grade, we will definitely have 2 remote sections. And looking at our other grade levels, we are likely to have 2 remote sections in 1st grade and potentially 2 in 3rd, maybe 5th, depending on how the numbers go. So we will be looking for some approval by the board to allow us to hire, if necessary, an additional classroom teacher to meet those needs, depending on where those final registrations fall. Looking at the class sizes, they look really good. Some of them are 13, 14. Some of them are up closer to 20, depending on the grade level. Some of the remote sections that I'm looking to potentially reduce, looking at grade 1, we have 28. So my recommendation is we're going to split that into 2 at 14 each. Looking at 3rd grade, we're looking to reduce the remote learning sections potentially to 2 sections at 14 each. And right now, we're